cow is coming towards me. The young girl's going to move on now, keep on nibbling from the fallen heads of corn, or see the fire back there? Absolute proof that we live on a spinning object. As you can see, the plumes are rushing up against the onrushing air, changing direction in the same travel as the way the earth is turning, which is actually the sun's behind me, as you can see from my shadow. So in theory the earth should be spinning backwards, right? No, forwards, towards that smoke. I haven't been able to ascertain whether I will have a signal throughout this thing, so I'm just going to take a walk and see how that goes. I guess I want to talk about the world, how things are feeling for you. I mean, for me, I've got my own storyline playing out, my own challenges, uncertainties, unknowns. Yes. Oh yeah. Off you trot. Don't you love it? What day is it today? Tuesday, Wednesday. Yesterday was my daughter's 22nd birthday. We are very sad not to have been able to be with her yesterday. Very sad. It's the second year on running. We went with her for her 21st in Portugal. Oh gosh. And certainly miss our boy Luke. I want to say thank you to the Patreons for their support, and those people who send money through PayPal. I am drawing up a list. I've been working quite hard, by the way. These last few days we have been offered a short period of reprieve here on this farm that I'm walking through, and a really fortuitous interlude, but it has meant that we are stalling the possible inevitability of going back to the UK. Side of that coin, we've got a beautiful country with lots of space, and people that are curiously unaware of the perversion being perpetrated on people. Unaware. Most people I speak to here, when presented with some cool, calm logic about their current wardrobe choices, they go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But they've never heard anyone say it before. If you only ever watch mainstream, semi-mainstream kind of narratives, it's all how to go along with it and how to work through it all. But you guys have seen the news. You don't need me to tell you that there's apparent spikes in mortality associated with people who've got a needle habit. Look at that anvil. Oh man. And guess what? I got a surprise for you guys. It's almost full. Can you see it in the center of the frame? Sorry, I'm so shaky. There's some folks here. Nice of you to turn up eventually. Oh, Tommy, how you going, my friend? How's Canada? You guys doing your thing there. I was in Spain, hey Greta, for my 19th, and Berlin for my 21st birthday without my parents were trying to make me feel better. That's very nice of you. That's very nice of you. I see Vertex here. How you going, bro? How are you? And more to the point, what's going on in London? You know, I'm just fascinated by how much protesting there's going on. I saw at the weekend's protest or the Freedom Day protest, there was like a lot of violence being perpetrated by the usual suspects. And your friend, Subject Access, is he all right? Did I see there's something that happened to him, or is he all right? Because I can't help but think this is so much part of the plan, and I don't understand why I'm not seeing it here in South Africa, you know. And there's days when I'll wonder to myself, am I meant to be here, you know? Am I meant to be seeing this? Am I meant to be here in order to do something? Because it turns out, guys, that we know stuff that most people here have never come close to know. And I say that with humility, by the way. I wish it were not the case. I was in a group of men the other day, and I didn't want to overspeak because your sacred cows don't like to be punctured. You know that as well as I do. But yeah, Vertex, how's your Sam? That's his name. I mean, I'm so amazed by those protests, and so wish I was part of them sometimes. You know, it's like, damn, have I made choices that, you know, I wasn't meant to make. The road that we've walked has been, I was watching Martin Kenny do a thing on his burgeoning community stroke, even beyond community into something more like a village or a whatever, you know, like an established thing, and that's where they're moving themselves to in the Pioneer, and, you know, much credit to all of that. And as I said before, you know, I did have an invite to join that right at the very start there, but it's too many. It was, you know, the vegan rule was a little too hard for my liking. You know, everyone to their own. But I want to, you know, anyway. But the point is that it's like such a wonderful thing they've got going there. I do admire that, and I wish them every success in their, you know, endeavours to sovereignty, which is really what I think is what it's all going to come down to at the end, anyway, isn't it? Surely, because Draconian is going full metal jacket on everybody. I don't need to repeat the news stories too much, because I am cautious that a lot of people are getting accounts terminated, PayPal accounts shut down without any recourse to the funds already accumulated. Alex Michael, the music guru, he told me that he had his Teespring account shut down, and boom, all the earnings go to Teespring or whoever. But, you know, here in South Africa, where we saw insane rioting, just briefly, like a 24 or 36-hour window of madness, maybe it was a little longer in some areas, it did offer the opportunity for people to kind of come together, you know, and go, okay, we need to work together, because that's the only way we're going to help each other, save each other is the way. So is this that opportunity? I felt the urge or the need to try and make contact with people in the different communities. I don't know. It just feels like, you know, everyone was saying, oh, that was going that was going to bring a whole lot more rioting and other events that were part of a 4-stage plan. I don't see that having materialized at this stage, but who knows? It's maybe months and years of this journey to come before it is complete. Which means that there's months and years for each of us to be doing the work that feels right for each of us, I think we all bear a heavy load, and at this time we live amongst people who are consenting and going along with Program V and all other sorts of things. So it is creating a time of tension and division, and this is surely by design. I just see so many people having had their their realities checked, and do we stand staring at the gates waiting for the next iteration of Morona thing to happen? Let's just stand at the gates and stare at it as it goes past us, or or are we doing something different? Have we come, and this is where people are maybe given the opportunity to realize through this process that their priorities are weighted towards the material Darwinian kind of way of things, and I'm hopeful that we'll see more things like the Martin Kenny example emerging, where people are able to get access in ways, because we're mindful that really we don't want to, but we're unlikely ever to be in a position to ask a bank or want to ask a bank to lend us our own money and charge us to pay it back. That's unlikely to happen. So, but we really feel like the drumbeat of the march towards the totalitarian system, is inevitable. The clatter of its approach is becoming ever louder and more uncomfortable to bear, perhaps for some, maybe not for others. And what are we doing about it? And Andrew and I have asked ourselves that question many times, because we are in a land where we haven't been for nearly three decades. We don't have we don't have the means to set these things up for ourselves. So I guess we try and find ways to ask the community to see whether we can't set something up where it doesn't have to be in this country, although this is a lovely place to be. I have to say it's remarkably beautiful, and the weather is remarkably fine. We're going through a cold patch at the moment. It's winter, but really there's been many days with the t-shirt off. Actually, I slipped out of a tree yesterday. Josh and Squirrel Sniper, you guys will probably relate. All the way up my arm here, I kind of grabbed a hold of the main branch as I slipped, and it just chewed up the skin a bit of a roasty. But all good sport, and this is what men and women should be doing. Not. I mean, look at the space that there is out here. It's insane. If every man had a few acres and he could spread his wings and he didn't have his neighbor right on top of him and so on, he would, in general, they would be happier people. This is my view. Remember that 1970s experiment with the rat house, where they started with 200 rats in a rat house for 3,000, and after 6 generations it was full, and the rats were doing terrible things. Sorry about the wind. If the wind's drowning me out, I do apologize for that. Well, isn't as much as I can be responsible for the convection and the movement of, obviously we're traveling at about 800 miles an hour here. So the wind does pick up a little bit, as you'd expect. You have to know that there's days that I don't talk. I'd like to talk and I don't talk. Some days it's because I just haven't had the moment, the quiet time or the opportunity. But a lot of days because it's like, what the hell, And maybe it is that we're meant to have that, we're meant to not be stable. Check this bird out. Heron, I think. Check that out. What a beauty. And the moon in shot. Hey, you can't pay for that. And I'm sorry, it's behind that that dust cloud from the fire. You can't see the format of it. But if you guys are in the northern hemisphere and you can see the moon now, I think you will agree that it's inverted from the image of the moon that I have, that you have if you're in the north. So, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I see there's been a clutch of thumbs up. You've been looking out for me, brother. Sorry, I wasn't. Sorry about the wind. I hope that's improved. I've been wanting to do a video for 2 days, but the wind won't die down. Oh yeah. Saturday's the big day. Sam's okay. Good to hear. Moonage. Yes, darling. Another reporter got taken out. Yeah, that's insane. We have family friends in Joburg. They disappeared for a while, but can't established. Hey Jax, how are you? You like my sky? You are a lover of the sky, aren't you? It's so clear here. We don't get. We don't see. There's no. What is it? The geoengineering. I'm allowed to say the other thing. Hi kids, Kimmy here. Hi. Hope you and Bob are well. Crime reporter was taken out. Hi Mish. Good to hear. Hope your family's well. Yeah. Family is well enough. Andrea's missing the heck out of our older children, and as am I. And the truth is, like, we want so desperately to be in a rooted situation. In a situation where we're able to offer Alexander stability, certainty day after day for a while at least. We want those things. As a young bull. The little dog Spencer is hounding. The dog is so tiny you can't see it in the grass there. There he comes. Watch, there he is. That's Spencer, right? And that's the cow. No fear. Anyway, don't you all want that sense of certainty? And of course, none of us know what next six months is holding for the world, and and we don't have anything to kind of hold on to ourselves in the storm. So it's, I don't really want to go into the nitty gritty of it all, but I'm sure you can understand that, a woman, she's Cancerian, home and family are very important. And as it is for me, and so my kind of work, as it were, is a lot of the time needs to be rightfully focused on ensuring that my wife and child are as comfortable as can be. We're very grateful for this current period of reprieve, and I think it's good for Alexander to be on the land with space and animals and so on. It's really what all children should have. I fantasize about creating a place where men could come for weekends or weeks at a time and return to a real sense of what it is to be a man, by working hard, physically hard, and being in nature. Children too, you could do it with groups of children, of course. That I think is going to be that would be a wonderful thing to do, because people are going to have fewer and fewer choices to do this, opportunities to do this kind of thing. And I was talking to Francois earlier on, about how, we've talked for ages about, imagine setting up a place where people are able to come for some shopping, some food, a restaurant, groceries, coffee, hang out, just like we always envisaged doing, in an earlier time before the news changed everything in 2020. So then, and I really think that that's something that people, wherever you are in the world, you should be thinking about. How do I participate or contribute or set up something like that? Obviously, it has challenges. There isn't, everyone who finds out this bit of truth is going to come to you with the same level of consciousness, the same level of inner standing or ego growth, or whatever it is that we're here for. That moon is beautiful, and as I look at it, that dragon's mouth and eyes on the left hand facing side, and I think that in the UK they would see it, I would see it on the other side, inverted. So I make of that what you will. And but it is observation, and all good science begins with observation. Excuse me while I just open this. I'm gonna give you guys a little treat. Thanks for stopping by anyway. You know what? I haven't lost my desire to talk to people. Yesterday I was in the local town, and just whenever I get to a person, I start talking to them and telling them what I know. But how's that, guys? Isn't that beautiful? In the rainy season, this whole river where I'm standing now would be moving water. No, not quite. I think maybe more. I mean, it does come in the floods higher than when I'm standing, but certainly onto this bank here, which is about 2 feet. Sorry, 4 feet down. I wonder if that's curvature there. That could be 4 feet of curvature, right? Apparently I'm not even going to go there. Rivers, of course, run downhill. There's no way they would run up a ball. That is nonsensical. So I'm already half an hour in, or 20 something minutes in. It's really nice. Can you come for a swim? Of course. Alright, sorry about that. I'm bad. Derek, you're right. Again, guys can't find me down there. It's a little bit too far down in the dip for them in the river. So I have to come back up here. Satellites could see me, and you can see the moon. Seem to have lost most of the people watching, but no matter. It's just nice to be able to put a little message out there. I think what you're saying earlier on, Derek, makes sense. South Africa was way behind in the era before they brought some massive. Yeah. Nice to have Bob stop by. I really appreciate your support, Bob. I can come back on. Oh, I wasn't on your channel before. I only been on Jared's. It'd be nice to come back and chat sometime. But I'm still anti relativity, which the 8 inches per mile squared is another form of relativity. But anyway, I'm not too fussed about those kinds of things. What I am interested in is, we're staring at the headlights, sorry. Thanks for staying anyway. But we're back. Staring at the headlights. And we're seeing all of this continue month by month, just to continue to get into deeper levels of stupidity. And it seems that people will twig on. Some may never, but people will twig on and are twigging. And I think the thing with a guy like Sam Vertic is that, maybe he hasn't seen. I don't know about now. I haven't listened to him talk on what he knows. The guys are just coming awake to wow, there's a massive tyranny afoot, but they're not realizing the extent of the deception, and therefore they're venting their ire in the way that they were designed to vent their ire, from which will come a solution, of course, the final solution. So, getting to guys like that and getting them switched on to the idea that actually, that we've got to tape, as well as, getting people shook awake. We also need to be getting people to think about whatever change is coming was planned, a long time ago. So what are you doing about it? Are you just going to have to be subsumed by the tsunami of change that's on its way, or are you putting good energy into alternative things? I know that Bob was I think going to be moving from his home state, or his Colorado, to somewhere else to find himself a little bit more kind of off the grid and whatnot, and I really hope that's worked out for you, Bob and Cammy. God willing, I mean, some people, one or two people, including my good friend Richard, the ceiling fan man, have offered me, I know Bob has offered me accommodation for a week or two, if he could handle me that long. But Richard does, and someone else in Washington State, I think, also had offered us Oregon had offered us a place on some land and stuff. And the truth is, there are a number of places in the world that would be awesome for people to find themselves on land. If you can buy yourself some land, get a structure on it. It does take a few years to become, I guess, mostly 60-80% self-sufficient. But this is what we have a few years to do, I think. And maybe do the other stuff about the legal fiction and necessity and so on. I think that those are perhaps important parts of our long walk to freedom. Nelson Mandela, his long walk to freedom was nothing like our humanities. And maybe that if we think about it right and we do it right and we pool our resources right, then humanity, it sounds a bit grandiose, sorry if it does, but humanity stands a chance of having a different reality or creation, because we are the creators. And if we create these cyber cities, or we create natural habitations, more natural ways of living, then that's what we can create. And if it's true that they can't let humanity know the truth in one fell swoop, the explosion of rupturing the balloon would be cataclysmic. I don't give them too much credit on this, but if it's true that they have to allow for the new garden to grow organically, and from that for new townships and villages and communities, sharing communities, to start to give people reasons to choose something other than the electricity, the digital city. No, but I mean, and people can have a bit of both. It's not but I really think that that's the way forward, guys. And other people have said it before, so it's no big deal. But I'm just that's where I'm at. I'd love to I don't know if Bob's still listening, but we had these ideas of maybe doing and I know that there is a little bit of a flat earth tour, but the truth or the love tour or whatever, something that to have done that in America, or maybe it's moving too fast for the satellite. Sorry about that, guys. But what if they blocked South Africa down and other places? Because they are places where humanity can make real inroads. It's not as locked down as some parts of it, like England. My experience of England is that there's no gate there's no place you can turn off the road and find land. And that may be true here, but I guess out in the out states of America, there's guys with land that would make your eyes water, and with that land they can carve some of that up, maybe participate in some of these things. But really, it starts with awakening. It starts with people realizing the truth and getting to the truth. And maybe a guy like Sam Vertic would be, if he can switch his gears and I have to be honest, if I was watching this right now, and I can't sorry about that. So anyway, so the point, if I can just finish up then, would be to say that there are things that could be done here in South Africa, but I wouldn't be able to do that without the support of my internet, because here in South Africa there is just not yet the awareness. Did I tell you the story of when I was it was the time that I was one of the times we were getting food for the homeless guys, and we were explaining to a lady in the queue in front of us. She was a little bit shirty, a bit snobby about these homeless guys being near her at one point, black lady. And I explained to her what we were doing, and at the end of the conversation, as she left the shop, she gave me 100 rand, maybe $7 or something. But enough, you know what I mean, like a contribution, which meant much more than the money itself. So that she was like, yeah, it's awesome to have people like you, wanting to, say these things and to hear the things. I want to support that. It wasn't the only time. There was another time. But the point is that when people hear me talk, oftentimes the eyes go wide. I was talking to this senior prison officer the other day. He had 3 stars on his shoulder. I don't know what that meant, but I assume it's not a McDonald's thing there. That means a rank. And I can give this guy quite a deep level of information, and he's still willing to listen to me despite I couldn't do that to a UK similar kind of rank, a UK prison dude. He shut me down very quickly. But people are interested here, so we've had a really, really painful journey to come to this point. I'm grateful to all those people who've contributed or supported us to this end. But I've just been following, as I said just a few months ago, I'm working for God now, and I feel like I just have to be surrendered to that. But I am putting it out there, and I'm not begging for money because, well, at the moment I can feed the family, and the accommodation's not really costing me much. So right now I'm not asking for money. And when you look at my lifestyle, and I actually have an extremely low cost lifestyle. I've always been frugal, but I've become so frugal in these years of living by the seat of your pants. So I'm not looking to be living in hotels and living up the life and restaurants, which I'm not sure if they're open anyway, but I think the rules to go to them are becoming increasingly, you can't enjoy a meal like that. So anyway, it's not that. It's more like, imagine if I had 6 months here, guys. If I had 6 months with like a second-hand vehicle, a base for my family, and I could get out here and do some wicked activism. I promise you, my verve is starting to bubble. But I know that it only comes right when I'm in a place of relative safety, security, particularly for Jessica. I think my daughter, for Alexander, and for Andrea. So put it out there, guys. I mean, if you feel like there's any merit in that, man, don't you want to put it into your chat rooms? Not this video, because it's obviously long-winded on the point, but imagine that I could get a little tour going here, a little, of course, globe globe, the flat Earth thing, but matured. If we hadn't been stopped from doing what we were doing in 2019, then what would we done in 2020? And I feel like there's very little restriction aside from the things I've just described. There's very little restriction on me getting out and talking to people. It's almost like you've seen. I don't know if you saw the stuff I did in Durban. I'm writing huge letters on the building there and on the floor, and the police are driving past. Okay, I wasn't doing it right in front of them as they were going past. I didn't want to chance that, but I am putting stuff out there, and it's just staying there for days. And no one's doing anything about it. And I could stand there, and when I was at this building yesterday, I was at this place, there was a long queue, and I started talking to this old lady, and soon there was like 15 people earwigging, right? And I just felt like at one point I was like, I'm just going to start like giving all of this. There was probably about 50, 60, 70 people all gathered, milled further around, and if I'd just done a little speaker's corner moment there, they would have been all of them listening. I was standing outside a government building, so I didn't really want to go too hard there, but I'm so well tuned for it, and I don't know anyone else in the the truth of space that connects to these people quite like I do, because I have some of this African thing in my blood. I spent enough years of my childhood here for it to be, in essence something that. And when I look into an African man's eyes here, same with the European, but I find this works incredibly effectively here. Is you make good eye contact with people here, and they're looking at you. They want, because there's a whole relationship between the black and the white guy here anyway. It's historic, as but to make that contact and assure them that you are seeing them as equal, that it reaches inside of them. And I have traction here that I don't find in other places. So I don't know what the future holds, guys. Certainly not for all of us, and certainly not for myself right now. But I do feel like if I'm to add value, aside from maybe trying to set up a men's group with guys who want to just get together on some kind of Zoom thing, that one of us could arrange, someone who has a laptop, we could arrange and have shoot the breeze for an hour or two. I know I'm saying all these things because I feel a little moment of stability in my life, you know what I mean? It's hard to be like when you're on the road all the time and moving and unsure of this, then it's hard to feel like you can offer things to people and talk to them, from a balanced place when you're in a state of fight or flight, right? So, but at the moment I feel that, and I want to offer that to other guys who want to talk, and just start something up like that. But yeah, man, put the word out. See if people don't want to see an African tour thing. Because I tell you what, if all I need to do is pull together a handful of people, there's already people that have reached out to me in South Africa. You guys know who you are. And, with a few little assets here, and some support from the big boys over in the US and in the UK, etc., maybe we can cobble something together. And that my honor is my bond, my word, I honor God or the Creator, our creation, who we are, and so on. And so whatever I would seek to deliver, it would be always with the right-hearted sincerity and integrity that you would expect for yourself, And then I would, I hope, be able to, in a few months, be able to show a value in doing something like that. So let me know what you think. I tried to get on Karen B's show a while ago and talk about this, but unfortunately my Wi-Fi was so crap I had to pull the plug on that hours before we went live. I didn't tell you earlier. I didn't smash up my arm. I grazed the heck out of my arm yesterday, slipping out of a tree. I was pruning. I'll take my shirt off another. I'd like to show you my arm, just because it's like, what a hero kind of thing. So just to say that, then I want to maybe use the next few days, if I can, to some of the friends in more influential quarters of the social media sphere, and see if you can't help me with that, actually, to that end. So let me know what you think, guys. And trinityforman@gmail.com is the email. So hit me up, and let's see what we can do. And yeah, I'll get my scab out tomorrow or the next day. It's pretty impressive, so I'd love to show you. Anyway, it's been nice chatting, guys. I'll leave it there. Stay well. Oh, wait. Before I do that, I should at least say goodbye. Hey, Zoom Truth. Zoom Truth was out and about the other day. Well done you, Dave. Well done you. And I see you were taking a far more like chilled, I don't care kind of approach. You were smoking some good doobie before you went down. Much respect to you for that. I think you must obviously have gone through some kind of personal journey, transformation, to be reaching into that side of yourself. And I hope you found that you were getting a better response going out there with a love rather than you freaking morons. Don't you realize the ball's not this ball? This is not a ball and it's not spinning. Much love, Dave. And yeah. Oh, Zoom Truth. Come on, Dave. You are like Mr. Well connected in the flat Earth, right? So have me on your thing, man, so we can talk to people about whether they would be willing to support a GoFundMe to do some something productive here, because I really think we could do something quite exciting, And I don't want to do it on my own. I'd happily pull in people from the local area. I'd happily, sorry about the technical issues. I'd happily pull in people who could help me on the technical side of things, because no man is an island, and whatever we're going to achieve, whatever communities are going to thrive, we're going to do that together in a way, hopefully, in which we've mastered our ego. We've become masters of our goats and our sheep. We are the good shepherd, and we are able to lead ourselves, and then by that example, others to maybe in generations, but to a higher, reality, maybe a heaven on earth. I don't want to get too carried away, but lovely to have you here, Dave. Zoom Truth. Who else didn't I say hello to? Did that say Dukes? 33. Oh, so you got an invitation, Brian. Okay, that's good, man. You guys hook up. He's got a lot to learn. Yeah. Voynich talking about Vertex. Sorry, talking about subject access. But I think he's got like 60,000 subscribers, because this activist thing. This people getting worked up by what's been happening is becoming very important, and I can only hope that the steering of these people is not the direction that whatever the system is, but whatever it will be. Hey, we got to be kind of there are days of sadness. You go, oh man, it's like really crap that this is all happening to humanity, and I bore children being suffocated and so on. It's just dreadful. But it is what it is, guys, and we've tried to kind of alert people to this. So don't stand in front of the train as it's coming down the way, man. Be building communities, be building networks, be building support. And here in a place like this, I think there is a real potential to. People are so fed up with the political thing here. It is so obvious that it's a massive scam. So obvious to people here, but they just don't have many, or very few, sort of speakers talking at this level of insight, assuming our level of insight is what we think it is, so this is I think a place that's ripe for the pickings, and I just wonder if the Creator didn't have me painfully make my way back here for the very reason that I have a purpose to do something more here, rather than to immediately return to England and whatever's coming there. Anyway, So that's it, guys. I do thank you for stopping by, and I do appreciate your support. And to those people who are the Patreons and those who've given us a contribution in this last 2 years or year and a half, man, my heart says thank you to you, and to our current host, Francois, thank you as well to him and his family for hosting us. You know, God moves in mysterious ways, and here we are on an incredible piece of land, and in a time when everything could be changing, or is changing permanently, but we are still creators. We are still the divine, sovereign inheritors of this place. We must find our rightful place as intended by Creator. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Cheers and thank you. Oh, hey, lone South African bear. There was I think a lady, South African something, South African lady. So you're not alone, actually. Vaughn, but nice to see you, my friend. I hope you're all well. And I will see you guys again very soon.